Please give me an unbelievable family welcome to Zenovia Andrews. Thank you for coming. All right, so, man, I feel like these chairs are funny to me because every time I'm not super tall, all right? I'm not really short, I'm not Ryan or anything, but sometimes I'm just like this. I just want to be like, I'm going to sit all the way back.
I have long legs.
Well, first of all, I'm super thankful. I know that there are some prepared things that we're going to go through, but I am just so thankful you're in this community. And for people that don't know you, I really wanted to get into a little bit more about your business, about your background, talk about how you even got into this in the first place, just so people that there are plenty of partners online, people that are going to watch this that don't really know you. So let's start with this first question. So where are you from? Mm-hmm. And then also, how did you get into, or when did you start your business?
Sure. So I am from Houston, Texas. It's so awesome to be here in Austin because it's just a little skip and a hop and we're here. I am from Houston, Texas, and I own a full-service digital marketing agency. It's called the Max Out Group, and we love working for our clients. We have a niche where we support clients, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry. I have about 15 years. I worked for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals and Novartis Pharmaceuticals for 15 years. And so I was in marketing and sales there. And if you know the pharmaceutical industry, it's up and down. It's a lot of, relocating in your territory. Wow. And one day after I had already won all the sales you could possibly win, the rewards, the accolades, I told my husband, I said, you know what? The gift is not in the place, it's in the person. And so I said, I'm going to take my talents and my skill set in marketing and I'm going to start my own agency. And we did. And that was over 10 years ago. So kind of telling my age a little bit, but.
No one can tell. So it's good. Okay, so this is the question I have. So, and I didn't plan on this question, but how hard was it to move from an individual contributor? Because I know this about you now. I only heard this morning. So you played basketball for years at a highly competitive level at South Carolina, just dunking all over everybody. Tell me this: how did you move from an individual contributor who is so used to winning, and like that's my name on the wall and that's me, to I'm to like this management of people who might be doing that. What was that? Was that hard? And how did you overcome that?
So one of the things in regards to building a team and having your own agency or being an entrepreneur is, you have to manage so many moving parts. And, I truly believe that you or I can't do anything of significance by ourselves. We have to have a thriving team, and a team that that you enjoy, like was just shared with us by Billy, that a team that you enjoy to be with. And it's challenging sometimes to find the right fit of people. And for me, playing college basketball at University of South Carolina, it was all about team. And so truly, I have a passion for everyone on my team. We say, if I'm eating at the top of the mountain, you'll eat as well. So when I win, we all win. And that's huge. Like, everyone wants to be successful. Whether they're your marketing assistant or their project manager, they all want to win. And so I truly make sure that that's important, and that's a really important aspect of our company whenever we hire people.
Wow. Because I think that's incredibly, first of all, that's amazing, by the way. And when you go into building a team, there's a lot of agencies out here, a lot of people that are business owners that are thinking about that next opportunity to build a team. Should I build a team? Should I not build a team? We heard Billy talk about it a little bit. A lot of people have gone through it in here. For the folks that are in here that are thinking about building a team or expanding their team or growing their team, when was the tipping point for you, and when did you go, we have to grow. We need to get people? That's
a good question. So I share with you all that I have a background experience in sales. And so for me, the number one thing as a marketer is the sales component. You can be a great marketer, but if you're not confident and you don't have a sales process from everyone in your company knowing what that is, what it visually looks like, what are the words that we use, you will end up losing your business. And so from the aspect of having that strength in sales, my number one component was to hire a team that would help me convert more sales. And so we've got all these clients because we're such good salespeople in my company. Now, who's going to fulfill all of this? I had to hire a team. I had to scale. And so for me, 2 years ago, my biggest challenge was not attracting clients, not getting leads because we were so good in sales, but it was fulfillment and it was scalability to make sure that we could maintain so that we don't go under because we can't keep the reputation and the quality of service that we provided for our customers. So.
That's great. Anybody else relate to that at all? Anybody hands out there? Yeah, I see like a lot of nods and a lot of people.
And it's scary a little bit, but you have. But I look at it in an aspect of, you know, when I look at the numbers, and I measure everything, right? When you look at the numbers on how many more customers you can not only attract but fulfill based on our, you know, the payout that we have for our project managers, for our lead designers, our web developers, et cetera, it's like 60% more that I can fulfill, I can generate in profit, not just generate revenue and cash flow, but profit from.
So good. You know, it's funny, I kind of want to know the breakup of your current agency. So like, let's talk about, now you've built the team. Mm-hmm. What do those people do? So is it heavily sales? Do they fulfill? What are they doing? So
our biggest thing, and I have it a little bit in our presentation, but my number one, where do we get our leads from? We do a lot of Facebook ads. We do also a lot of live events. About 5 years ago, one of the things that I was missing, a missing component of my company, was brand exposure. So I didn't have a platform, so I went and built a platform for my company, for myself, because people buy into you, especially female. So 80% of my customers are female entrepreneurs, business owners, whether they be doctors, lawyers, etc. They're females. And so brand exposure was critically important for me. Yeah. I do live webinars, teleseminars, and then we have a call center. I have an actual marketing call center. We just built that out about 10 months ago. It's thriving. We're winning big time with that. Like literally 400% more sales than we had before prior to our call center. So we're around the clock.
First of all, I didn't even know that, and I'm sitting here looking at people being like, what? Okay, so I'm trying to figure it out, because I've known about two things. One thing that I was going to get into was your live events, because when we put out a poll inside of the partner portal and the agency portal for here in Digital Marketer Certified Partner Program, people were like, how do you get clients? And they're like, okay, we do speaking, which they might have put that, but let's be real here a little bit, all right? It's like not all of them are doing it to that level. And then also they put in referrals, they put in webinars, that kind of stuff. But I know you are exceptional at your live events, especially because we just heard a moment ago that the ROI on just a 73-point checklist was $100,000.
It was my first time using it.
Which is?
It was $120,000, first time using it, in 7 hours. In 7 hours.
So what I want to know, first of all, one more round of applause for that, because that's stupid, okay? Just to make sure we're all awake. And so tell me a little bit about this. Would you be willing to share a little bit how you program that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's the one I want to know. Then I want to get back into the call center thing. So let's start with that. So how did you program, because I'm sure a lot of people in here wouldn't mind $100,000, in 7 hours, how did you program it out to make sure that that was kind of like the CTA, or what was the pitch? How did it work? Yeah.
So the name of the event, so you can kind of get the overall picture, was Wealthy in America. That was the name of the event. My husband and I, he owns a healthcare consulting firm, and he does a lot of leadership speaking, et cetera, and I'm all digital marketing. So it's the transformational side, and then you have the business component. And when we thought of the event and our offer, we wanted to make sure that everything was connected to the big why and the ask towards the end. And so as I used and I started, and for me, content is everything. You know, if you're sharing online, Facebook Live, our communities, your closed groups, you have your live events, your webinars, content, creating new content. Like Ryan said earlier, this digital marketer is basically, it is a huge component for my business in helping filling the holes that I don't have to go and create new content. And so, and the design side is easy. I can get someone to help me kind of repurpose the design or whatever to make it in alignment. Yeah. And so the whole event was around my big offer, and I wanted to use the 73-point checklist, but I wasn't sure, because I remember Ryan saying, I don't know if you should use it at a live event, or a webinar, because on the videos, one of the videos, he's like, I don't know if you should, like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to use it at a live event. I think I can do it. And so I presented the checklist, but the checklist was based off of this premise. It was eight mistakes that most entrepreneurs make in their business. 8 mistakes that most entrepreneurs make in their business, and I ranked them in order 1 through 8. The number one reason was connected to the 73-point checklist was they didn't have a plan and they didn't have a strategy. The checklist for me is a strategy and a plan for any business owner. And so I made that the highlight of the event. And then I said, the offer that I had given them, it's called the money drip. It's on one of our slides. It's called the money drip. Well, what I did was I removed about 40 points from digital marketers, their implementations or whatever their services that were on the list, and I added my money drip points. So whenever I made the offer, I said, hey, 70% of what you've already marked that you don't have, right? It's fulfilled within the program that I'm offering you today, which was a level of our retainer packages. So it was a win-win. It was like what they said they didn't have, I had already highlighted it and put it inside of the point list. And so then when I made my offer, it was a no-brainer. And it closed like it was crazy.
What was it positioned at? What was the actual offer? Like, do you mind sharing that?
Oh, I don't mind. It's actually on here.
Cool. Well, let's get into this. I'm sure people want to know how you positioned it. Oh, wait. Time out.
So typically, whenever we do a live event, most people will go through their resume, their accolades of their past. I find it more interesting to share different life moments, experiences that I've had with my family, with my children, with my nieces and nephews. It creates more of an engagement, and you connect with your audience better. So
take us through some of this.
So my son here, he's 11, right? He's 11. He's sitting there with my husband, and he's 6'1". He wears a size 13 man shoe. He is huge. He's so super sweet. He plays he plays basketball. We want him to play college basketball, of course. And then, where's another one here? My daughter is here. She went to the prom. She's over here in the audience. I played college basketball at University of South Carolina. I shared that with you all earlier. I had broken my nose playing University of Georgia at that point, and I still went out the second half, and I played the second half.
Wow.
Here's a picture of me that I share of me trying on my wedding dress, which is about 24 years old. And I could still fit it, but if I turned around, the whole back was still open. So it's kind of funny. And then here you see a pile of money here. So every so often, at least once a year, my husband and I, we believe in that wealth is a mindset. It's just not something that's disassociated with who you are. So we have our son and my daughter actually count money, physical money, and so that they would get accustomed to the energy of it, the flow of it, so that they won't feel like it's something that I can't have. It's just something that we, in our minds, we think that we can't have. And so that was $750,000 that we had them count. They gave up. Actually, they didn't finish helping us count it. But we think that it's a great exercise to build that wealthy mindset into our children's lives.
How much
did you say? $750,000.
Yeah. I'll come help with that. I won't give up, okay? I just want to touch it.
And then this is a picture of me in the office. Like I have a crazy work ethic. Like from when I played college basketball till now, I love, like Billy said, you have to love what you do. I believe in also surrounding people on your team from an agency standpoint that love what they do. And he said that. You know, not only enjoy being with them, working with them, but they're just as passionate. They won't look at their watch saying, oh, it's time for me to get off. They'll be like, oh, it's past an hour and I'm still here. Like that's what we want from an agency perspective. So wonderful. I share that. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Welcome. So I want to go to that slide that, so this is where I'm sharing with them our highest converting digital marketing resources, the 70-point checklist. And then I share with them why most entrepreneurials fail, and I give them those 8 points here. And so here, the number one reason, right, was that they don't have a strategy, and I tied the 70-point or 73-point checklist into the strategy that they didn't have, right?
Wow.
And then you'll see the checklist that I have on here. It's right here. So what I did is I went through and I made sure that what was on here before, it was in alignment with my own agency, of course, that we actually fulfilled that. And then I went and stacked it with what my offer was, which was the money drip. And so in the money drip, it's a done-for-you service. We build their whole sales campaign, their funnel, we do their branding, we do their content, their emails, et cetera. Everything is built out from them from the beginning, from the front to the back. We build it, you on it.
So on the 70-point checklist for yours, is that something they have printed out that they're going through?
Yep, and I kept it very simple, like Ryan said. I kept it, I didn't change it, and it worked brilliantly. And one of the things I did have to do during that live event, which was pretty easy, is to make them, they feel really bad. Like, some of them only had like 6 things, and I kept making jokes about it. This is an area of opportunity. Think once you start doing all of these things, how much, you'll win then. You'll be so much more successful. And they really bought into that. And so then whenever I made the offer, right, for the money drip, this was our results. And that wasn't money that's paid in increments. That was that day money. That wasn't money that's built in over 6 months or 9 months. That we made that, we generated that money that day.
How many people was that?
I do a special, so this is another thing. So for my live events, we do exclusive invite-only events. And so it makes people feel like they're a part of something that's like everybody can't attend. And so although we may get 50 people that want to come, we only allow 25. And so those other 20 people or 15 people, they'll roll over into our next private exclusive event. And so it was great. It was phenomenal. I am excited about using the resources in Digital Marketer because I don't have time. We're working as an agency to curate content, to speak on live webinars, to support my closed groups. I have a closed group called Digital Addicts, and I want to provide value with them, but I don't want to create content all the time. And so I love that we're able to do that now, and it's been definitely an advantage for me. And so I'm just excited about it.
Yeah, where's the box, by the way? I know that, first of all, thank you for sharing this, but I know that we have a few questions before we go to the next one. Do you mind if I grab that speaker box from you? Oh, look at that. And, are you ready? Okay.
Oh,
hey! Yeah. Ole! All right.
Quick question. Sorry that I'm getting technical. I guess it's
No, it's good.
testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh, somebody turn on the box. Turn on the box. Testing the box.
Oh, and let me say this, the price point, no one's asked me that. Are you gonna ask me that? The price point of the product was $10,000. It's a $10,000 offer.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
All right, maybe a follow-up question, yeah.
Holster camera. My other question was obviously the product pricing, but then was the event to attend free?
No, it wasn't. They paid $9.97 to attend the event.
Wow.
And the event, though, we make the experience so from an event perspective, I believe that the experience that you can create, like we had live bands, we had everything was white gloved, we had served, like it was a very opulent experience for them. So then they know that they're there for an opportunity to play big.
Is it a loss leader or is it a break-even play?
Say it again.
Is it a loss leader or a break-even play?
When you say loss leader, what do you mean?
When they pay to be at the event.
Does it cover the cost of the event?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, my question, you mentioned that you guys do content, right? Okay, so my company does content, but I would love to outsource everything else to someone like yourself. I'd love to take some of my major clients and say, okay, let's run through the 73-point checklist. Are you doing this for your client sites, right? I don't want to do anything but content. Are you guys open to?
Yeah, we do web design, web development. We do SEO, Google Analytics. It's a full service, so we do everything.
Gotcha. And you could work behind another agency?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And we have several partners that we do that for now. Yeah.
Yeah. I think some of the most successful people up here that you're going to hear from do a lot of that. A lot of the people that I'm going to bring on stage don't necessarily need the recognition, and a lot of the business model, especially from not only Zenovia and Bo, you're going to hear from in a little bit, but also Rob from Invisible PPC. Like that's their entire business model. So I think that it's pretty incredible that our community can trust each other enough to be the front and the back, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Was there another question? Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
First of all, thank you. Appreciate it. Feel the excitement. That's good.
We're not even done yet. This is
We're not.
great. I was like, it's like we're still in it.
This has been like a mini TNC week. Actually,
Yeah, this is great.
for me.
It's perfect.
So, my question is, when you having a full service agency, right? How did you kind of build that out from where you started? Did you kind of start in one particular area and then started assimilating, or did you have these different talents, different areas that you played in, and you just built a team around that?
So I have a personal passion for funnels. So it's really weird. Like I geek out over them.
Okay.
And what we found is that as we were building out these funnels, well, I can build you the best funnel, the most optimized funnel, but if your website is not a par, or we get to your, we're trying to push a Facebook ad and then we get there and then your branding is off. So then it turned into, okay, well, let me fix this and then let us fix that. And so by us doing that, that's kind of, we extended out to be able to service in all those different areas. Some areas we dominate in, like really, really strong. I think any full service agency, they kind of lean in one direction more than the other, but For sure, in regards to funnels, that's like our niche of business and what we do. But funnels, it connects to everything. It's the integration of it, connecting to the CRMs and building out the membership sites. And then we create the content as well. So we've got clients that come with us, they have nothing. So they have zero lists, they have zero products, zero services, and we start them from ground zero up. And those clients, some of them have been working with us for 2 years, but you get testimonials and case studies where they're making 20 grand now a month, so it's working for them.
Man, the old marketing catfish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny because there are a lot of people, the old market, I just made it up. Everybody's like, of course, I figured that out too. No, whenever I do LinkedIn trainings, I always tell people, it's like, you want to go out here and do advertising and all this stuff on LinkedIn. It's like, but your page is terrible. You don't have a photo,
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's like, what are you going to market? So real quick, I know we have some questions online, so I want to pass that all the way back over to Michelle. And we have a few questions online, then I want to keep going. Oh, they understand what's going on now.
Okay. One,
Yes.
a partner missed it and it hit our table.
Oh, well.
Not my fault. I'm just going to throw this out there now.
Putting it on our partner.
Wait a second.
He was a good sport about it. He was great. Anyways, real questions here. Joshua would like to know, did you ever start off with the 1099 contractors before W-2 employees, and should we ever or never have 1099 contractors and only do the W-2 employees? Basically, your thoughts
Sure.
on the two.
Well, I did start out with 1099. I still have some 1099s, and then I have employees as well. So I do both now. I would say I'm about 80-20, 80% employees and 20% contractors, 1099s. And those, typically are people that you start out with in regards to joint venture partnerships or whatever. Especially earlier on when implementation, I shared with y'all earlier about the sales, they were growing, I was increasing in numbers and I couldn't fulfill. So then I had to manage that aspect of it. But yeah, definitely we still use both 1099s and then employees for sure. Yeah.
Cool. And then Brian said, do you tripwire individual services upselling to retained funnel management?
Yes.
She said yes, Brian.
Yes. Yes, we do.
All right.
Yes, we do.
All right, that's it for us.
Okay. Any other questions in the room before I keep going back? I have another couple questions I want to ask. All right, cool. Maybe you'll think of some. So let's go back to this call center thing.
Yes.
So, one of the themes, and Billy talked about it too, is like being able to sell. And man, I know that selling has got a terrible stigma to it, but also to stay in business, you either have to sell yourself or find somebody who does.
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about the why did you go to a call center and how that happened? Yeah.
Yep, great. So I'll be honest, it wasn't my idea, it was my husband's idea. So I share with you all that he owns a healthcare consulting company. So one of the things that we had this office space where we already had representatives that were there to support doctor's offices to be able to answer insurance questions, get them verified for their insurance, etc. So that component was there, and then my husband said, well, you know what, we have this other whole side over here, why don't we build that out for max out? And I was like, well, how we utilize it, and then we came up with the idea for the call center.
Yeah.
So how do we utilize it now with my team? So we took the top 4% of my list, the ones that were really engaged. Now you can, based on Infusionsoft or whatever you use, you can kind of look at who's most engaged with your content online. And we took the top 4% and we made a call list with the top 4% that was on my database. And we called them based on if they've purchased from us before, and we splintered our services. Maybe 1 month we'd be selling lead generation systems. Another month we'd be selling websites. Another month we'd sell funnels, a short funnel, whatever. And each month has a theme. And so I can't tell you how much revenue we've generated. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we started out with two. We started out with 2 call center reps, and then now we're up to 5. And hopefully we'll get up to, I want to get up to like 10. And
do you do
that's
all
all
the,
they do.
Do you do all the scripting and all of the...
All the scripting we've done, we do all of that.
Okay, so it still feels like you.
Yes.
It still feels like your brand.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people, when they think call center, everybody thinks like call center, right? Like they're calling you during dinner and you hate them. But you can actually have people that work toward like outbound. Where are they getting the leads?
And they're warm leads. They're from my list. They're warm leads. So it's not like we're making, you know, cold calls. Although we do cold calls. So we take a demographic in Houston and say, for example, if we want to do websites for a particular company, we'll actually mock their page of what's possible for, like, for example, we do dental offices. We'll take a zip code, we'll do a mock of what their website could look like. We pitch it to them on a call, we'll share it with them, hey, check out this link. It's automatically a conversion. Like if you do a little bit of the work to show them what they could possibly live like or actually what they could look like from a branding perspective, the conversions are easy to be able to do it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Is anybody getting good stuff? Can I get a little like this if you're feeling like this is good stuff? Okay, because I feel like I'm sitting here and we haven't had this conversation. I've never dug this far into your business, but every time I'm sitting here going like, damn, I should do some of this stuff, you know? Because tell me this, everybody in here is going to get, and everybody online is just sitting here inundated with information overload, right? Yeah. And we've only had a little bit. This isn't TNC, even though Amari would have wanted it to be. It's not all that. So what should we be focusing in on here? What are the big, what's your big takeaway for the agency group, for people online? Like if they miss something or like you feel like this is the one thing they should take away, like what is that thing? What's the
one thing for me as an agency is closing sales, period. Like as much as you want your content, your branding and fulfilling clients, like fulfillment for them, at the end of the day, if we're not making sales every day, we're gonna eventually go out of business. So I wake up and I go to sleep thinking about how can I close sales, period. So
that's what keeps you up at night?
That's what keeps me up at night. Right. And every day I'm driven by that. Yeah.
Let's get a couple more questions in here.
And we train everyone. We train our assistants, our marketing assistants, our project managers, everyone how to close a sale. Because it's really, at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
So everybody in your organization knows the sales process.
Absolutely.
See, I think that is something that I would hold on to as a business owner, is understanding can people articulate and sell at all levels. Like it's funny because positionally we've always taken the sale out of the component. Right. Like somebody's like, well, yeah, I never want to get into sales. It's like, interesting. Can you talk about our company in an effective way to a complete stranger where they would walk away feeling excited about what we do? That's selling.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get so far away from that where they think they just need to be like these people that have a quota or carrying. It's like, no, you have to carry the mission of what we do. So I love that. All right, go ahead.
So my question is, you said that what keeps you up at night is not selling every day. When I was in that exact same position is when I didn't have retainers, because I was selling like sites, one site at a time, or it was like one SEO like boost versus a retainer-based thing, right? Good. So I was kind of curious. Have you, what percentage of your business is still doing those one-offs, and what percentage is still doing the retainer-based stuff?
Perfect. So that's a great question and comment. So our one-offs are lead gens for our agency. The one-offs are opening doors for us to be able to conceal and confirm and to sell a retainer package. We want the long generated revenue versus that one-time quick wonder. You know, like if you build a website, I mean, I don't know what you charge, $1,500, $3,000, $10,000, but to be able to have a retainer client that trusts you, that you've established a relationship with, that's for 12 months, that's for 24 months, I want that type of relationship and that type of revenue coming in. So for us, the splintering off of our products is a lead gen for us. It's a lead magnet for us. And we typically do really well with converting those clients into retainer clients because they just want a taste of what we can provide to them from a service standpoint.
So when you're staying up at night thinking about selling, that's the front side of the experience.
Exactly.
So when you're selling people in, you're literally just getting them into an opportunity where the retainer makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, that's fantastic. I think that makes a lot of sense because I think you can fall into this hole if all you're thinking about and don't have a retainer component to your business and you're just out there, you're going to churn and burn out.
Quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes, and what I'd like to ask is maybe one final open-ended question, and then just to kind of, I think that I want to ask a business owner question. So it has to be bigger. Billy mentioned the mission, core values, all that stuff, the vision, right? So for you, what is it that keeps you going? Where are you trying to go? And I would love to know that because one, people in here probably care about that, but also might be able to help with that. Yeah. And then I know because you help a lot of people get where they're trying to go. Where are you trying to go?
So for me, my why is much bigger than me personally. Of course, I want to leave a legacy for my family, for my children, And we have a huge heart, my husband and I, a passion to help our community. And so we have a philanthropy side of our business where we feed over 150,000 kids each year in Panama City Beach, Florida. It's called Kingdom Impact Center. We support them with aftercare for children that are impoverished and they don't have the necessary means and the resources to be able to have home aftercare. And so it's bigger, it's a movement more than it is personal. And so, you know, and it has to be genuine. So, and you have to enjoy what you do. Sometimes people will ask you, like, what drives you? You know, being able to make a major impact. Like, who wants to live average? Like, that's boring, right? Mm-hmm. And so having that as one of our missions to be able to support other people outside of ourselves and our family, it's huge. It's huge for us.
You know, I'll say this last little Jerry Springer final thought about you. One of the things that I observed, and believe me, if you're out here and you're a partner, understand that I'm looking at your life, because it's really important that I care and know what the people we're partnering with are doing. So when Houston got hit with that flood, and it was just terrible, like awful, bad. awful, especially as you move further down that economic list, mm-hmm. right? I saw you and your husband set up a pretty amazing outreach to these mm-hmm. folks. And, you know, I think personally that, you know, I was so proud in that moment to have you as a part of this family. And I just wanted to give a round of applause for that to you. And then, Thank you. Hi, I'm Marcus Murphy, and thank you for being a part of this community of marketers and agencies. Participating in this meeting of the minds tells me one thing, that you are dedicated to being on the cutting edge of all things marketing and growth. I'll be releasing a new episode every single week. So if you don't want to miss out on all this groundbreaking content we'll be publishing, click the subscribe button and you'll be notified every time we release an episode. And if you're an agency and you're interested in rapidly growing your business right now, click the link to our webinar below. If you're still here, you should seriously click it, because that means you are truly devoted to learning how to grow your agency. So